Well, a truly new sport should be patented. Why? Because these days when an inventor creates anything new, the first thing they do is check to see if someone else has already come up with the idea. They start out by searching the USPTO for patents and or trademarks. If anything confusingly similar is found, then their invention's not new. It may improve upon something, but it's not new. And that right there eliminates many sports from being termed new. In fact, almost all sports that are thought of as new are actually just improvements on existing sports. A great example would be football as we know it in the United States, which was developed as a variation of rugby, which, believe it or not, was a variation of soccer, which was the original football. Now, in other cases, new sports are quite simply hybrids of two or more existing sports or games. Beach volleyball comes to mind, disc golf, ultimate frisbee, things like this. Even less new are sports that have borrowed a patented idea or apparatus, changed the name, and then came up with a good marketing campaign. This can fool thousands of people into believing that the sport is new. But just because someone hasn't played it in the past 30 years, well, it may still be tons of fun, but it's certainly not new. Now, when we talk specifically about Sabakiball, Sabakiball International not only received a patent and trademarks on several pieces of equipment because they're unique to the sport of Sabakiball, but they also received a patent on the actual ball game method, which is now termed Sabakiball. So let's think about that for a moment. Experienced athletes may find similarities between Sabakiball and other sports, but the actual method of playing is completely unique. And in fact, it only takes a couple of minutes on the court playing by the official rules to recognize this. Now, aside from being a truly unique and patented team sport, we can talk a little bit about the popularity growth of Sabakiball. We boast over 1 million people playing Sabakiball in the United States alone, and that's a pretty bold statement. But let me explain how we come up with that number. Sabakiball International has sold more than 300 full sets of equipment to schools alone across the nation. Multiplied by the average number of students per school, that comes out to just over 200,000 students. But we know for a fact that some of this equipment has been sold to districts that rotate Sabakiball throughout all of the schools in their district over the course of a school year. In Texas, we know of a single district where Sabakiball reaches 250,000 plus students every year. And our records indicate that we've sold equipment to at least 4 other districts that handle their gear in the same way. This does not include equipment sold by our distributors, who may also have sold gear to districts that rotate their equipment. And did I mention earlier that these are numbers that include only the United States? We've also sold dozens of sets of schools all across Canada as well. And we've received emails from schools in both Morocco and China who teach Sabakiball. Now, if we throw in just for fun the fact that in the past we've licensed Sabakiball tournaments as far away as India, where they don't even use our official equipment, they simply utilize materials that they have on hand to simulate the official gear. Well, now we can only speculate on the number of schools, youth organizations, sports groups that all do the same thing. So 1 million Sabakiball players, that's a very conservative estimate. And while we've not organized into beach parties or beer leagues like some other games currently enjoying popularity, we don't really envision that for our sport. Now, I might also like to add, as far as Sabakiball goes, we have children that started playing Sabakiball 7 or 8 years ago when they were in 5th grade, 4th grade. Those children have now grown up, and having played Sabakiball consistently through their childhood, they've now gone to colleges or universities who offer Sabakiball as intramural sports. So the fact that we've been able to not just attract young people, but keep those young people into adulthood, continuing to play Sabakiball in a competitive manner, this shows that Sabakiball is actually truly a sport. So I don't think there's any escaping the fact that when it comes to truly popular new sports, Sabakiball may actually be the only one that can honestly call itself a whole new ball game.